talking change, talking all that's real, with Francis Pierre at the wheel. Politics to faith, the latest trend. We talk it out from end to end. And if you've got something to share, pick up the phone, turn it up, Real FM, ride the frequency. Talking truth, talking change, talking all that's real.
Welcome, sisters, our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, and all who have an opportunity to be with us, to listen to us. Welcome on our program. A brand new morning, a beautiful day, and we encourage you to participate with us on the program On Target. You can pick up the telephone and determine what topic we speak on. We never have a subject matter, and all and sundry is welcome. You don't have to agree with us on this program. We always make the point. We encourage discussion. We don't make much rules, except we encourage people to respect one another. A very important thing. And stick with the truth as much as you could. A lot of issues going all over the world. The war in Russia and Ukraine. Russia is declaring Ukraine. They're mashing up Ukraine. We have a situation in Gaza. Israel is isolated internationally. The United States of America is in the corner. Most of the countries in Europe is against Israel. They're condemning Israel. They're not condemning Hamas with the same level of intensity. They're not doing that. Hamas has kidnapped, taken away, whatever term we will use, a number of Israelis. They still have about, 50 or 500 or what, and they would not hand them over. They are initiated. Those pictures you see of the Israelis Hamas posted, they look starving, while the world seems to be blaming Israel alone and not Hamas too. And you have to remember that a lot of the Muslims, particularly Iran, Syria, Hamas, Hezbollah, they do not believe Israel should exist. They want them dead. They are well supported by a lot of the left-wing people in the world. You see, the communists don't like religion. They say religion is the opium of the people. They don't like Christians too. But the Jews, perhaps, they want to get rid of the most. So Israel, the only country in the corner of Israel, is the United States of America. Turkey has put additional embargo and restriction on Israel. Pakistan and Russia is not in the corner and promising to attack them. But Israel continue to seek for the hostages. And that's one of the things I like about the Jews. They say we want the hostages. There are cases where they will exchange hundreds of people they consider as criminals for one dead body. I like that about them. Israel is only 2% of the population of America, but 30% of the millionaires in America are Jews. Perhaps we could take a page from that. The Israelis suffered quite a lot, just as the black man suffered quite a lot. But they don't sit down crying and complaining. They don't feel entitled. They strive for excellence. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre, what I find really interesting is that even the spokesmen for the movement in Grenada, they are 110% behind Hamas. Mr. Pierre, imagine if a group of Islamists or whoever invade Grenada, take our women, rape them, burn our babies, chop off our men's head, kill who they kill, kidnap who they kidnap, and they bring them back into the area where they live in the country or whatever. My question is, what would the Grenadian people want their government to do? Should they leave the people behind and say, okay, peace? Or should they demand that the terrorists return the people first? Mr. Pierre, Grenadians need to wake up. This movement in Grenada, these people, they have always supported terrorism, because I've been around long enough to know the alignment with the Middle Eastern terrorists when the PRG was in power. And what I am seeing is that this movement is taking the same direction. Mr. Pierre, Grenadians need to wake up. The Christians need to wake up. Because what these men are doing, they are trying to mislead the Christians. They are going so far as to telling lies and say that Israel is implementing law to ban Christians in Israel, when Israel is the only country in the Middle East where Christianity is growing. There is a very, very strong relationship between the Christians and the Jews. The Christians in the United States are supplying ambulances, all sort of support to the Jewish people. And the greatest about it is that both the Christians and the Jews, they worship the same God. But the communists and the Islamists, they worship the very same God. Right? So Christians need to wake up and don't allow themselves to be misled by these tricksters and them. These men are wolf in sheep clothing. And if they only come into power in Grenada, Grenadians going to be in deep trouble. Mr. Pierre, have a good day, sir.
Yes, one guy told me once, I mustn't worry. He said, Grenada don't obey logics. He said, Grenadians don't obey logics. I took history with him, but over the years, I come to that conclusion, and it doesn't matter to me who win or who lose. I'm only glad to have an opportunity to express my views and opinion. And I have always said, and recently in a program I said, I worry why the movement leader is so silent. On all controversial issues, they have remained silent because they cannot sell the philosophy. They cannot sell the program. They have to take a ride on a cause. They must deceive the people. They have to lie to the people. As soon as they come in power, you see their true face. The NDC hardliners now and the movement soldiers are generally one and the same. So we could beware. All I could say is beware and tell you the reasons why I say that. And encourage them to discuss the issues. But they don't want to discuss the issue. They say, let them talk, man. That talk will die out. They undermine the Christian religion and they make them saltless because some of them pretend to be Christians under liberation theology. During the revolution, during the experiment with the revolution, in 1979 to 1983, the Christian catch the backside. And there was no dialogue, you know. And they even felt Maurice Bishop was too moderate. The Marxist Leninists say Maurice Bishop is a petty bourgeois, and he too moderate. So they are the real hardliners. And Ewok Lane, based upon the information we are getting, is one of the serious influencer of the ruling party. And the political commission is the one selected to lead the movement. All we could say, we beware. And those are the issues why we encourage people to discuss issues. You have the power, you have a democracy. There are a lot of countries in the world that don't have the opportunity to discuss issues. The government jail those. They call them dissidents. If you disagree with them, they put you in jail. You can't squeak. They put you in jail. They have no press. So when they say something, nobody else can question it. And we see the same attitude developing in Grenada, where the NDC, under the corrupt-in-chief, is using all sort of high-handed, unorthodox and devious means to silence those who dare speak. You should be alarmed at those who used to speak before, but they shut them out now. You see, they have a lot to lose, or they are corrupted by the corrupt-in-chief, and they're silent. So one have to encourage and admire those who could dare express themselves. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good day, Mr. Pierre, and your listening audience.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
I realize I'm missing in action. I just joined you, though.
Yes, man. You beat me to it this morning, man.
I is getting frightened of something in Grenada. I mean, since 1967, as a little boy, has been around the political arena, listening to all different administration come, administration go. And it's the first time I come across an administration as this present at NDC, who have no information of the party, of their leader. And when you ask them a question, they get vexed and starting to argue with you, quarrel with you, and attacking you personally. So I want the NDC to, when the people, I understand some of the people is being paid to come and call your program and other program to see if you could promote the party. I haven't got no problem with that. But the problem I have with, when they don't have the facts, they argue with you, they start to attack you personally. Every statement I make on this present administration, I could back it up. Because you know why this government is strange. This morning I played the tape, dear gentlemen, where his leader make one of the most dangerous statements in a rally, dividing Grenadians. And the activists say, not him in. By when he said, which I will never rest that, look for who's the real yellow. Because if you don't do that, you're going to end up giving people on the other side. What more statement could be more dangerous than that? A leader who say he loves Grenadians. This man have no love for Grenadians. His members of parliament have no love for Grenadians. They only care about themselves. Grenadians, what more we want? What more we want to know? What more we want to know? Look, if you check the Crozet situation, they wait till media houses beat up and saying how much they're making the people see trouble. And then they go and trying to pretend, as they hear about school opening, just go and pretend they're concerned. They also say, we need more children in Grenada. We know people in Grenada make children. Now when the unable parents depend on the government or something, they start to say, who send them and make children? And they want to decontamine it. Where is the children? Where is the children father? Kit Mitchell spoil them with handout. What kind of government we have in this country? Mr. Pierre, other people want to speak.
Yes, thank you,
I will
caller.
continue
Yes, caller.
to let my people know we're in serious, serious trouble. I rest my case.
Thank you, and that is the power of the democracy. And we must not let anyone take that away from us. But we must prepare to pay a price. Because if you believe this government is bad, those that come in could be worse. If the Marxist Leninists and them get a chance to rule this country again, it will be worse. Because vengeance would be the main item on the table. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Pierre. How are you doing?
Great, man.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, I call upon Grenadian to be wary of the sheep and wolf clothing. People who want to be leader of a country, and all kind of things happening, corruption taking place left, right, and center. Right? Look at the Grenadian Development Bank with the ministers and they communicate the shopping tools for the ministers. Look at the corruption again in LATU. Corruption all in MIT, in all ministries, and people who aspire to be leader and to nothing coming from their mouth. Right? So if anyone to be a leader, you have to come with what you stand, what you stand for. Let us know what you stand for. Where you want to take the country if you become the prime minister of the country. But everything going on in the country, you don't say nothing. You don't say nothing. So if you want to say nothing, that means you agree with what's going on. So the only answer we have is that, okay, like what's going on in the country right now, if you become leader, it's the same thing go to do. Right? It's the same thing you want to do because you're not complaining, you're not talking about it. So like you say, like anything goes for you. So I call in upon people are going to compete in Martin. In 2022, you are going to vote for sheep, a wolf in sheep clothing. That you think was something good, but you're seeing the real wolf now. So watch out for the wolf in sheep clothing. Those who pretending that they love you and they care about you. Watch out for them. If the people really love you and they see you suffering, they will speak about it and ask the government, don't do that. Don't go on that road. And look at everyone who vote. You don't vote. We are all Grenadians. And to reach out and to help better the living condition. But when you have Mr. Pierre, I will continue saying that every time if I call a program. When you have a leader making a statement in a rally, the only reason why the NMP get it because the real NDC don't know who is the real NMP. That's a disaster, and that leader need to go. Right? And Grenada, we need a leader that will take care of the affairs of everyone. Because when election call, and election gone, and whosoever be the prime minister, that should be a prime minister for everyone in Grenada Caribbean competing matter. Have a
yes, scholar, and you mustn't only take that one statement in isolation. Because if it's just one statement, you could say it's a slip of the tongue. This government has made a number of statements. One of them is that But remember, they consider people as classless and commoners and beggy. I have never heard that in my life. And it means that some of the people that are supporting NDC now, NDC does not see them as real NDC, but they see them as classless and commoners. In one program, I was asking my brother Culture Man, because I believe that I and him should be in the same class. Although some of my brothers felt that they are promoted to a superior class, and they start to use demeaning language to refer to me. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes.
Good afternoon. Why you encourage the fellow when you talking this nonsense? The Prime Minister say you don't know who the real NDC one is.
Caller, do you agree with the Prime Minister now?
Yes.
Caller.
You don't know who NDC one is?
No, none of the Prime Minister say. The Prime Minister say.
It's over and over. You don't want to go pay back for it. You say he don't know who the real NDC that lead. Help. You don't know. So you don't know what you're talking about.
Caller, the Prime Minister is promoting classism in the country. And when it comes, caller,
just as you
caller,
you is the one upholding classism. You condemning NAP, you condemning the Prime Minister, and you acting worse than you acting like a communist. Let me tell you, you and your people and them, when people speak, I don't even want to hear what they're saying. Are you trying to cut them off? Are you come and tell me about it?
come on, man, the amount of time I listen to you,
Yes,
you go make that statement to me?
Well, listen.
How you could make that statement to me?
I say your colors want to cut me off. Not you. Your colors, each one of them, they want to cut me off.
You calling any program, I give you a chance to say thing that is not true.
Mr. Pierre,
come on.
Each one of them, when they call, they don't want to.
Well, all you calling and do is to cuss Kit Mitchell. And you don't answer in the truth. How could you agree? Caller, how could you agree with a prime minister of a country saying that the only reason why NNP getting assistance is because you don't know who the real NDC is?
They know what the man say.
Caller, listen to this one. Caller, listen to this one.
It's up to your line, man. You want to play for one of these days?
You see, you just say, all right, thank you. You see, that is one of the challenges that we have. Because at some stage in life, I take the strongest objection to these statements. I do try my best not to attack politicians personally. And politician is going to make mistake. So when they make a mistake, I give them an opportunity to correct themselves. Like Tevin Andrew. When you hear Tevin Andrew cuss police, I didn't say anything. I said the next opportunity Tevin get, he's going to make a statement trying to refute, trying to explain, or trying to come out of it. Instead of that, the gentleman went back on social media, beat his chest, and say cuss police. Now, I take strong objection to that. Because if a politician could openly boast about cussing police, he is inciting his supporters to disrespect the police. I take strong objection to the Minister of Legal Affairs and Labor when her statement, her social media post, I say, well, maybe she must get carried away. Maybe hormones jumping up in her body and she get carried away. Maybe she takes some liquor. So let me give her a chance to withdraw that post and give explanation. When your legal affairs minister is firing imaginary gun in the air and saying, shoot Babylon Bobo, she comes afoul of the law. And she is encouraging the borderline individuals, the younger people, to disrespect the police. When the Prime Minister be in a pasa mood, encouraging people to use obscenities And not joke out, That is obscenities people used to fight for in school. When we to school, if you cuss your mother, we go to blows. And if we can't beat you, we pelt a stone behind your own. When Deacon Mitchell gone on a stage, and on more than one occasion, you have to object to that. You can agree with it. Even if you is a strong supporter of the Prime Minister, you have to nudge him, Chief, don't do that. That ain't looking good. You is a model. When this sister in Gov, and she made more than one statement, you have to object to these things. So you, the supporters of Deacon, everybody heard what he said. And even if that was not his intention, the public interpret it, so he needs to qualify it and withdraw it. Yes, scholar, welcome. I think you listen to the replay in the back. So you have to turn down the replay. Or take out the speaker. Yeah. So we can Mickey Mouse with that. There was an upsurge in violence in Grenada, and I blame Deacon Mitchell and his crew for that. They contributed to the upsurge. I had to call 2 young men that I have a good relationship with and ask them to remove their posts on social media where they was falling weed. And they wanted to wrangle with me because the Prime Minister of Grenada made a post with weed. So you see, you set examples in society. And these individuals, the Prime Minister is an educated man, he's a lawyer. So he knows better. And the Prime Minister was on the stage trying to evoke the spirit of Maurice Bishop. I said the religious people that was on the stage with the Prime Minister, sometimes they didn't expect him to do that. They didn't know that was part of his agenda. Immediately, they should disassociate themselves with the statement and nudge the Prime Minister to stop this stupidness. It means that the Prime Minister is deliberately dabbling with the occult. And prior to the election, we had incidents in St. Andrews that come on social media where people was dabbling with the occult. So one wonders if the NDC hierarchy have a group of evildoers that seems to overwhelm NDC. You have to face this truth. And normally, the communists, the left-wing progressive, they consider Christianity as the opium of the people. They don't believe in religion. And they do everything possible to dilute the significance of religion. So when the Prime Minister was introducing his liberal sex laws for young people, I was not surprised. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre, good afternoon. First of all, let me just give those who go into secondary school today, the first day of school, and even to the primary school as well. I wish them all the best, put the education first, and I'm calling on parents to pray over the kids, to nurture the kids, talk to the kids, empower the kids, lead them on the path of right and the path of positivity, right, and teach them to respect the teachers in the school, because too often you've seen parents going in school and quarreling with teachers, and when you check it out, the students that wrong. And even though the teacher will do something what is not appropriate, don't go and take it all, go and take all the rage on the teachers. Go and sit down. talk to the teachers positively, engage positivity, yeah, and teach your children to respect people in authority, yeah. Then I will say this: when you see you have a hostile government, you will get hostile people, and that in the Bible go hand in hand with that. The Bible put something like that together. And then when you see you have a government what do have no vision, the Bible say the king that have no vision, the people perish. But happy is he that keepeth the law. When you have a hostile government, what imposing violence, causing people in authority, causing the police, in people's presence, embarrassing the police, what do you expect for the ordinary man like me to go about to do? I will not go about and do it. But he will have other people what will get influenced by that to disrespect people, to disrespect the law enforcement officers who is there to keep the peace. They may not be perfect, but we have to respect them as well. Yeah. So when you have a lawless government, you will eventually have a lawless society. Thank you, Mr. P.
Thank you, Color. This morning I was already a little bit taken aback that several children, a few that I encounter and some that I heard about, was sent home from school on the first day. 3 that I encountered, 2 males, was for the pants. I think I don't know how they describe it, but the bottom of the pants foot, not supposed to be tighter than 12 inches. And in one case, one of the girls, she had a white socks, but they claimed the socks was too short. It's supposed to be under her knee or something. I don't know much about school, and I try not to take too much a part in these small things in school. And I asked the question, after almost 8 weeks of holiday, how could it be now that the first day of school, children are not properly attired based upon the uniform that they have? I also want to appeal to schools about sending back children from school in the morning time. Remember, you send your 13, 12, or 15-year-old daughter and your son. Hormones are already jumping up in the body. Some of them ready for the bow. You send them to school. The parents gone to work. And the schools send them back. We are opening up ourselves for secondary problems. And one perhaps would have asked, why not send them home the evening? Because if they have a socks that is too short, a white socks, I saw the socks. In one case, the socks, I saw the socks. In another case, the girl had a white socks with a black strip on the top. So I'm not saying the school is not justified. But I'm saying the school must be more sensitive that you send back the children in the morning. And the parents may not be home. And the children may gradually send them back too. And hormones jumping up in their body. And you're looking for secondary problems. And I ask, how much of these children have parents that could guide them? Because there is a percentage of our children that function on their own. They function on their own. They don't have parents to guide them home. You may not know, you may be sleeping, but there are some children that the parents may be incapacitated, mentally or psychologically challenged, and the children may well be the authority in the house. And if they come to school with a socks that doesn't reach the height, I don't know to what extent the height is clearly expounded in school. So one should say the child should know. So I'm not going to take issue with that. In St. Lucia a few years ago, they had a lot of issue over uniform. Monday morning, you send the child home. I'm not saying you should not send the child home. But why not choose the afternoon, the regular afternoon, to send that child home? From two schools, it seems there is a general readiness to send the boys home. In that instance, the mother told me that the foot of the pants is 12 inches, but the boy grew. I said, well, what happened if the boy grow? She said, well, where the pants was before he grew up, she told me that is the same pants he had last time. The foot of the pants is supposed to be 12 inches. So I guess the teachers don't want gun mouth. Long ago we didn't know about inches, we know about gun mouth and belt bottom. I remember going to school with a pants and I had to bend my instep to put the pants in. I had to bend my instep for the pants to go inside. And it was not because I desired gun mouth, but that is what my parents buy. And I also remember having to put cardboard below my shoes. And if you forget to put cardboard, the socks would eat away. And almost every week you have to be packing cardboard because the shoe bottom was practically out. Nowadays, children don't have to go to school. That I find that children have a lot of money and a lot of assistance be given to children. A lot of people volunteer and give backpacks. But maybe we have to work with the few people that are suffering. They are not benefiting from the backpacks. Maybe they're not benefiting from the backpacks. Last term or last year, I heard similar stories where boys was sent home because their pants fit too tight. One mother told me that is how the seamstress make the pants, and she making the pants for the school. I say, well, maybe you have to send the boy to a tailor, because in my days women didn't used to sew pants. But these days men are so domesticated that the pants are sewed by women. You see how we emasculate the boys and we domesticate them for public ridicule? So the pants perhaps tighten them. Why the tailors don't sew the boy pants? Why parents don't bring the boys to a tailor to sew pants? I wouldn't call the name of the women. But all I'm hearing is women sewing pants. And the pants, and problem with the pants. And the boys are thrown out of school. I said already on the radio, one young boy in Form 2 has been thrown out of school 9 times. He tell me he get fed up. He can't catch up. He want to leave school. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre. How are you today?
Great, man. Good.
Something was just sitting there. This bill, this Prime Minister want to bring in this country there with the minors. I check it for myself. That wouldn't be only pressure for parents, if that bill passed. The teachers and them will get some pressure from them too. Because when they could do what they want, say what they want, and what the teachers in the school going to get some pressure to, because if parents have no control over them, remember, the teachers going to have pressure under these minors and them too. From what I imagine to my own self. I don't know if it makes sense or what, but the teachers and them going to have to. Because if parents can control you, then they will tell you what to you, doing what you want on your own without parents' consent. So, the teacher is going to have the same pressure too with them. That is my opinion. I don't know if it's right.
The teachers don't care much. Our teachers don't care much. They just up and out and send the children out of school.
Yes, well.
They don't care much.
And if this bill pass again?
Well, the bill is going to pass because the government have the majority in parliament. And there is not a hue and cry about it. And there is a lot of left-wing communist element. They want to weaken the family whole, the parent whole on the children.
Yes.
You remember the revolution with the pioneers?
Yes.
And there were instances where you had children in school that come home with a gun.
Yes.
In one instance, a father had to run. The boy come home Monday with a gun. On Tuesday, the father was on the boat going to Trinidad.
Oh.
The stepfather.
And is the same revolution thing I see what is coming back?
So it's part of the culture and the system of the communists and the left-wing progressive.
Yeah. And as I just say, I hope we Grenadian watch what's going on and listen what's going on. And if they give, they can ask, they really don't see real color yet,
The TC Parker want to say...
second chance, then we'll see what type of person
they say they will feel it in the... Yeah.
God bless.
So a lot is going on. It's only about... I've said repeatedly, 70% of the children that exit school are unable to meet the minimum academic requirement. I've gone on further and say that it seems that our women are not hungry for education. They don't care plenty. And just imagine you have a child, you had 8 weeks holiday. Some of these children whine the whole carnival. And Monday morning, they have been sent back from school because the uniform is not up to the school standard. Well, I don't know what is school standard is. This morning I hearing the sock supposed to be by the knee and the sock supposed to be white. Well, that is for the girls. So one girl had a white socks, but he had a black strip on the top of this, the socks. I see the black strip. And I know the individual, and another boy, they say the pants is supposed to be not less than 12 inches. Tall guy. And I heard about several others. And I'm not going to interfere at all in rules, but I'm also saying that we have to be sensitive when we're sending back children, because now some of them home without any supervision. Although Some of these kids are already supervising themselves. There are cases from time immemorial. There are cases where 10 and 12 and 13 and 14-year-old children go to school only because they want to go. They want to go, not because the parents care. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes.
Mr. Pierre, one of the reasons you have orientation in school is that you will be given and the uniform of the school would be demonstrated to parents and children. They have a standard in school for uniform. The girls' skirt must be sewn in a specific way. They must have enough room at the buttocks. So they must not have tight skirts, what we call hobble skirts.
You mustn't see the panty.
No, you must not see the panty line. They must not have hobble skirt. No. The tailors must stop going in school uniform for boys. The seamstress must stop making them hobble skirts because they are violating the rules of the school. And if we allow our children to violate the rules and regulations from school, then we are setting a bad standard in society, and we're going to pay a very expensive price. So tailors, stop going in pants on the boys. Seamstress, stop making hobble skirts. I would say, well, maybe the socks could be a little be excused. But when you see some children's school uniform, that is not uniform.
But do you believe that when they have orientation, the children should go to uniform?
Yes, and the parents have to go with them, and they must ensure that on orientation day, that the way they go to school is the way they must continue. Because
that would have avoided having to send them back home the first day of school.
Obviously. Okay, for instance, there's no standard, you know. Anytime you're in Grenville, before 9 o'clock, court time, and you see them young men in their long sleeve shirt, and they wear seam pants, you know they're going to court. The same boys that wearing that their waist become now on the legs, when they have to go to the court, you see their pants with belt right up on the table and long sleeve shirt. So why is it they can't maintain that standard? They can't go to court with their pants down on their bottom. And the school must stand up for standard. And if the school do not stand up for standard, then we are losing a generation in society.
So maybe the school should encourage, because I have not been around school and school children, but encourage them when you have orientation, the children come with the uniform on them.
Yes, and the standard of the uniform.
And parents go to parent-teachers meeting, and if they go, they ought to know.
Obviously, and they know.
And then maybe you have to give, and then if that is so, then put it on social media.
That is so.
Because everything they put it on social media.
Mr. Pierre, all of them know the required standard of the school. But there's a specific school in Grenville. And when you see the condition of those children uniform, that is not befitting.
Then girls say they get fat.
That is not befitting.
Well, they make this skirt for the girl when she's a teen. But by the time the term finish and she eat all this barbecue on them,
Lapierre, let me don't make an excuse for them.
I don't make an excuse, I just say the fact.
Do not want to wear no big skirt. You must see the Victoria's Secret.
They want to see the Victoria's Secret.
In order that you must see the Victoria's Secret. Teachers, maintain the standard of your school. Do not allow children to do what they want, how they please. No, we cannot.
Well, discipline in school is important. That's why they have groups and organizations to help them.
Let me give you an example here, Mr. Pierre. I remember a good friend of mine used to work at GIS in the days also Eric went in the botanical garden. And he and Mr. Gary crossed paths in the veranda. And he called to him and he said, but I did not know he was on holidays. He was wearing a white t-shirt and a jeans pants, working at GIS in the Prime Minister's ministry. And Mr. Gary said to him, I did not know you on holiday. And he said to me, he didn't have to tell me nothing else. I went to town, I bought long sleeve shorts and soft pants, and my pants was well seamed, my shoe was well polished, and that was the last time he had to tell me about my dress code.
That is how Gary would have dealt with it.
Yeah?
That is how Gary would have dealt with it.
Yes.
With a lot of sophistication.
I did not know you was on holiday.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand? You understand?
So obviously, the children must have discipline. If they don't have discipline and you're not respectable in the school, that is the factory for producing the product.
And the female teachers too.
Well,
they must stop wearing hubble skirts.
Well, they have the curves. They want to show the curves.
Yeah, they must stop wearing hubble skirts too, and showing off the panty lines.
In yesteryear,
when the female teachers wear those hubble skirts and showing all the panty lines, therefore the young girls is looking at Miss and they look like Miss.
She want the boys see she panty line too. Only watching the teacher.
You understand what is happening to our society?
Yeah, that is deterioration.
There's a total breakdown
of the discipline
standards in society.
Yeah.
You look at I went to a funeral last week Tuesday, Wednesday, and I saw a young lady in a tube dress from just over her breast.
You feel she want to wake the dead?
Huh?
Maybe she want to wake the dead.
Have a good evening, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, so obviously we get very liberal with how we dress. And if the gentleman use the coat, if you go to the coat, automatically you have to dress. There are some clothes that you could have over your pants and others not. Yes, Scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre?
Yes, Scholar.
Pleasant afternoon to you, sir.
Yeah,
and pleasant afternoon to your listening audience. Mr. Pierre, there are certain things there I find it difficult to try and understand. Okay, you go into school. We have uniform, and there is standard in terms of how the uniform should be worn. They tell you how wide your pants foot supposed to be, and all of these things. You know, this is established. What if I don't know if protocol is a good word to use prior to you getting to school? So tell me how any student coming to school with a skirt or a pants that does not meet the standard of the school uniform. Tell me how. And when you show up like that, what you expect the teacher and the principal to do, with the exception of sending you home. You know, because you come to school violating the dress code. These are things that just cannot understand. Mr. Pierre, for example, they're talking about gang in school and bad boy in school. You're a school boy. The system's supposed to put things in place that if you cannot adapt to a regular school, we should have a school for you.
I agree with you, Colin, 100% agree with you.
Yes.
Because I believe you must go to school.
Yes. And if you're out of order, what it means is that we have to put you in a school system that does not allow you to go home every day. Based on your behavior and your performance in that school, you will be granted permission on a weekend.
But you must go to school.
But you must go to school.
I agree with you, Colin.
There is no if and no buts. There are standard procedures and and everything in place for you to go to school. And that's it. Now, Mr. Pierre, I agree with you. A lot of, most of, if not all of the criticism you level against the government, I agree. Even though sometimes it is harsh. I may not use the names and the words you use to describe them. But Mr. Pierre, sometimes I get the impression that if tomorrow morning you wake up and the NDC Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell and his entire cabinet just disappear from Grenada. Nobody know where they go. They just disappear. I'm assuming that you will call for a national Saraka.
No, color. Like Israel, I'll go and search for them.
You will search for them?
Yeah, the one that happens, our people. And we small in numbers.
No, because sometimes I find you just blast them in such a...
Because they're not giving information, they're not answering questions, and they're going after the people who criticize them personally.
No, Mr. Pierre, in your heart and soul, in the best of your mind, in the best of your recollection, do you believe that this government is the worst government we ever had in the history?
Well, I've said that already. That is the worst government we've ever had post-67.
So,
just imagine how you deal with the government when the government talking, and not one person, classless, commoners, beggy. The only reason they're getting help is because we don't know who the real enemy is. This language has never been used by any government.
I agree.
Never.
So what you're saying is that they are worse than the PRG?
No, you never hear me call the PRG corrupt.
No, we're talking about all successful governments.
No, the PRG, the ideology. I always criticize the PRG for the ideology. But the PRG, I never use the word corrupt for them.
And they never use the word classless?
And when they talk about proletariats and petty bourgeois, but not classless in that sense. Like a social promotion. The PRG talk about the petty bourgeoisie and you know that's where the communism strong. But this government seems to be promoting social class 50 years after independence.
All right. So now let me wrap here quickly within the issues of time. But here, Mr. Pierre, I find you to blast the communists so much. I want to know if China communists is different to Grenada communists. And one of the things you must acknowledge to your listeners is this, that the country that makes the most progress in the last 70 years in every aspect of human life, in every aspect of the development and the growth of the society, the only country to do that in the last 70 years is China. And what I must say is this as I wrap here, sir. Given me the opportunity to choose to die, if I have a choice between Gaza and the Holocaust, I will choose the Holocaust. I will walk into Auschwitz with a kosher meal because it is the Holocaust is a more human way to die than Gaza. And if we were told that Hitler was such a wicked and bad man, what we're seeing today in terms of Netanyahu and the IDF, it made Hitler look like baby Jesus. Have a pleasant day, sir.
You tie up two issues you shouldn't tie up. And I think you do it personally. Purposely, not personally. Because I would have liked to answer you on communism. You see, so it's how we judge development. You could have a society where you say the country develop in terms of material things, but you kill all those people who disagree with you. Mao Zedong kill over 5 million Chinese, 5% of the population. So you have a communist regime where one set of people believe they're right. And as a result, they jail all those who they disagree with. How could I agree with that? And development become materialistic. You have people that don't believe in justice with compassion, and they execute people as if it's a joke. So, that's the challenge you have, and I'm always sorry that you are the last scholar, because that is a subject matter I believe we must discuss. We must discuss communism. We mustn't afraid to discuss communism. We mustn't afraid to discuss left-wing progressive. They mustn't hide. And we must not afraid to discuss development. Because what we mean by development, because I have a big house and 3 cars and exporting plenty fig and blogger, and I kill my wife, I kill my children, I shoot my neighbor dead. That is development. Anyway, it's a good note to stop on. It's a good topic to stop on. We provoke discussion, and we must not be afraid to discuss issues, whether it's in the rum shop or the block. And that is the biggest problem I have with Deacon government. They hiding. And Peter David too, he hiding. Thank you very much for being with us today. And we're back with you tomorrow again for another opportunity to punch. Thank you very much.
Turn it up, Real FM, ride the frequency. Talking truth, talking change, talking